I'm going to tell you how to use this really superly efficient. This here, you can use either one of these every 3 days in a tea. Take a 5-gallon bucket, fill it up with water. If you got to use spigot water, you got to bubble it for about 2 days to get the chlorine out of it. Totally works. Some people like to pH their water. If it's outside, it really don't matter to me. And we're talking about the garden here. Now, this, you put whatever it says for a 5-gallon bucket, so it says about a cup and something. I would probably use about a cup of that in a bucket. Bubble it. If you can bubble it for 5 days or 3 days, it does really good. Then you'll filter into another bucket with a sheet or a towel to just get all the hard stuff to go through your sprayer out. And use it as a tea once every 3 days. And then I like to use Super Thrive. It's called B1. The name of it's called Super Thrive. And you could use the Super Thrive with just plain water every day. Rinse that off, for 2 days, and then spray it again on the third day. 3 to 5 days. Look at the leaves, make sure they're not trying to curl too much. Same thing with this. Now this was a little bit more, so I just got enough to put on the ground. I could probably do a tea, and I might, for the pumpkins, but everything else good enough. But I did put some of that and some of that on it, but I could put a little more on that because it's more on blooming, and I just half dosed on this. I did put the Miracle-Gro, the bag of Miracle-Gro on it, and it did real good, but they ate all that up. The reason I like to use this and this particular brand is because it's got magnesium and calcium. And then I just started using this. I'm gonna give it a try, but they said every 2 weeks on this, but it's got the mycorrhizae, the silicon. You need all that for the roots. And then, like I say, I like to use the B1, but you can make a tea out of this. Now this stuff, once it goes on, you're good for 2 months. You don't want to overdo it, but you can make a tea out of it. And the tea, every 3 to 5 days, you just put it in a bucket with a air stone and bubble it. I like to do it for about 5 days. It makes a real good tea. And then, just every 3 to 5 days, you can spray it on the bottoms of the leaves of anything. If you got mums and stuff like that out in the fall, this. But you got to be careful on the water now. When it gets cold in the nighttime, you can get root rot. You can get blossom rot. So you got to spray it there first thing in the morning. And you just kind of want to do it light, when it gets cooler of the nighttime. Like from September to October. Now, through the summer, feel free. I would honestly say feel free. You really can't overdo it with the tea. But you can if you put it directly on the ground. But I did give them both. And then, I might make a tea with what's left out of this. But I'm definitely going to do this every 2 weeks on the pumpkins. And then I'm going to try to make a tea with this, with a sprayer I got. So, no more grow, just a bloom and stash blend. And then, like I said, I don't have no B1 Super Thrive. I would love to have it. And right now would have been a great time to put your earthworm castings in too. You do the earthworm castings about once every 2 months like you would do those. So, good luck with it. I hope this recipe helps. But that's kind of what I do.